Hi, everybody. This is Allison from AllyKat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, subscribe, and hype to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connect the dot, an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork to create, please consider supporting my work. All the links will be at the bottom after this live is over. And it's just not my links. There are amazing people that are a part of my community. I'm a part of their community. And it's just a love fest of unity and love and light. And they're on the bottom of my YouTube channel. So you go on the main page and click and subscribe to each and every one of them because what they're putting out is amazing content. It's amazing products and they're just amazing people. So go check them out, please. AllyKatCreationsTwo11.com is my website. There you'll get to see candles and paintings and drawings and all kinds of crap. Oh my, it's not crap, it's my work, but I get to say that. You can't. Maybe. I'm being silly today. Please go check it out. And if you're interested in anything, a commission, purchasing something, please email me. Best way to get in contact with me. And lastly, I have channel memberships. It's a really great way for me to give back and for me to have support for the channel and all the fur babies upstairs. So go check out channel memberships. You're getting emojis. You're getting oracle card readings every weekend. You're getting entered into my raffles, and 4D gets to work alongside with me with all the other projects that I do. Hi, Arnie. Hi, the Big Meanie. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Miss Ashmaya. Hi, Miss Sparky. How is everybody today? I can't sing It's a Manic Monday because it's definitely not a Manic Monday, but Tuesday is crazy, crazy town. How is everybody? Batshit crazy energy going on. As always, we're in a basket of fun, weaving our way through craziness. I needed that. Weaving our way through not sleeping properly at night. Mercury is almost out of the microwave. Yes, there has, if anybody's on the East Coast, Washington, well, let's just start from where I'm at. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Washington, Virginia, West Virginia, New Jersey, Maryland, New York City, and even Connecticut. Please be safe and be weather aware. You're getting my weather. Kentucky also has a lot of tornadic activity. A couple of tornadoes already have dropped today in many different spots. One actually in White Plains. I that wasn't even warned, and Max Velocity earlier was like, "There's a tornado." I just please be safe and be weather aware. I don't take lightly to those things after what happened up the block. Not that I ever have. I'm very much weather vigilant. And that's not to say anything is going to happen. Don't be in fear and just be aware that, you know, going to the store and getting bread and eggs and milk, unless you have a generator, is a good thing. Oh, Allison will go into Ivan in shadow. Not necessarily doing shadow work, because I did a lot of that work. I'm needing to balance my authentic self. This is who I am. But obviously when I'm going to work and working with children, I am not going there to be scary. And not that this is scary, but to kids it might be. So I just go to work differently. And I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I got a balance. Here we are. Seductive. Hi. And yes, I'm sending Ashmai. Let's send Ashmai a nice healing ball of healing. Hi, Scott. That's for you, Ashmai. Giving you a big hug. I've been putting a lot of light around people. A lot of light. Go check out Arnie's beautiful video earlier. I got a little sneak peek. Music video, but also what he has to say. And I absolutely agree with you, Arnie. Um, that's why some of us are where we are. You know, it's not all love and light when you look like this. It's the truth. Um, you'll see more tarot card and oracle card readers looking more like myself. But the gothic thing is a very elusive creature in the spiritual land, and I can tell you that I'm just doing me at its highest excitement. I'm joyed out. I could care less what people have to think about me. But you know, when I speak my authentic self and say, well, we got to balance the demon within us and the angel within us. Uh, people don't like to hear that. You got both. Why else is puffing so crazy much? We got a lot of energy going on. Anybody feel the spikes today? There were little spikes, little spikes. Who else is getting activated? Who else? I'm not alone out here. Allison's feeling it. So, as we are getting in, the lights dropping down into us, we're getting our uploads, downloads, whatever you want to equate it to. We had this today, but notice this little fucker right there. Look how red that is. There's no light in there. That's purge. That is healthy. Get it out. I think you're activated. Activated. I mean, we all of us have room to get triggered to heal. Healing is a part of being triggered. To knowing, because let's take a look at what the Curtises put this out yesterday about dreams. I didn't go through the dream stuff because I was like, oh, I'll paint today. But to talk about this, the negative energy that's been suppressed within us that trigger these things, it's elusive. We don't know why people get frustrated or like, oh, that bothers me. And that triggering doesn't necessarily mean to be evil or bad. It's just something within you is unnerved or irritated. We got to look at those things. Everybody has them. I don't know one person that doesn't get triggered by some anomalous crap, right? Or shenanigans or some serious shit. It's how you manage your trigger that we came here to master. They're going to come up. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. I don't mind doing amazing things for people. It's my pleasure. Um, and that goes to show everybody I'm a good person. I don't mind doing favors for people at all. I want people to get Arnie got there was a transaction and he needed to get to Ireland and I sent it over. Oh my gosh, Arnie. I know. I know. It's happening. It's happening. I don't think it's happening with everybody that listens to me, but there are so many people right now I am seeing on social media, which I'm just, to be honest with you, the best thing that could have happened to me is the windows and the timing of the windows. Because I leave my stuff on, but I am not reading people's stuff. I'll catch things here and there. But I'm basically listening more than I am reading and glued. I'm not glued to my computer. I'm trying to put my house back better, making a flow, cleaning things out, decluttering, what needs to go in the garbage, what can I put on, I don't have a car, so I have to figure out Facebook Marketplace and how I want to go about doing that, or if I want to do eBay or one of these other sites. So I'm just taking a stock in what is going out and what's getting in the garbage and what's going back into my space. So I've been really busy every day, unscrewing down here because they threw a lot of stuff down here and making myself up there manageable to live. I've been busy. Yes. Yes, as much as possible. So I put up some really I'm going to take pictures. Auntie Amy sent me some decorations she wasn't using, and she's like, "Oh, you could use them. I'm sure you could," with some cat treats for Little Thor and Freya. So I'm like, "Oh, I could put this here and I could put that there," and it's coming out really nice. I have to put up one more curtain bar. I'm keeping the blinds. I want my privacy, but I also want to be able to open things up. If it's nice outside, I can open up the windows. So that's what I've been doing. I'm readjusting where I'm making candles. I really sat hard to make my space a lot less cluttered. I work in chaotic chaos, as we could see behind me, but I'm trying not, as I'm getting into my higher self, I'm trying to envision myself having a better space of living. And Ashmaya, here's where I think a lot from where I've been tapping into for my own self. I don't get agitated with myself so much anymore because certain things I'm aware that I need some work on, and I've been working on it as I'm taking these things off the walls and reconfiguring my artwork. And I'm doing a lot of that work as I'm doing what I'm doing. That's my meditation time too. As I'm sitting and taking breaks and pondering, I'm also pulling in from the collective. A lot of people are having a really hard time right now letting the old self go and not releasing it with forgiveness. There's angst. There's portions of me that I let go, and I had a hard time letting go because I could not forgive my own self. What, and then the negative bashing of self, like, why was I so stupid? Why did I make that decision? Why did I go along with that? The whys. And then I sit with those whys. And then I go, oh, wait a second. I'm going to take the eagle eye view and see why this needed to play out and detach my emotional state to that. Bye. And see that everything had to happen in the way it transpired for me to have a lesson. Then I go in and ask myself, what was the lesson? Was it self-worth? Was it I let my boundary loose? Not to say the boundary wasn't there, but I kind of like had chicken wire instead of like an iron electric fence. And we all tend to beat up on our own selves when we make those, when we consider those things mistakes. And I'm seeing a lot of people right now get upset with themselves for decisions that they made or people that they were with, or they could have said this and the coulda, woulda, shouldas in conversations that never transpired. It just happens in the head. That is this angst energy going through because no one wants to let go. Oh, thank you, Arnie. It is hard, but there's a lot of side garbage. I need to organize my space better. How's that? I try not to beat myself up, but I know that I have to be hard on I am a hard ass on my own self. I really am. And it's okay to do that, but I got to be graceful with it and compassionate with myself. Well, both of those things are mindsets. I mean, there's 1,000,005 paradoxes we could equate to. Freedom is a state of mind. I mean, in technical terms, 3D, are we actually free? To an extent. Actually, I listened to Damien Eccles. He was I actually had him unbeknownst to me on my YouTube. Like, I subscribed to him ages ago when he first came out, and I didn't realize what this guy was. He was on Brian Scott the other day, and he was talking similarly um on that kind of not, but that similar debate with the art. He was talking about archons. And he's like, does the archon stop you from brushing your teeth, from waking up in the morning, for going on vacation? Did the archon stop you from eating, from having your everyday life? Hi, Kurt. And Damien made a really good point with that. They don't. So why are you allowing that kind of that, because it's archons and it was an esoteric writing? Why are you allowing that dichotomy to take over your thinking? Is there a bigger scaled thing that we got to look at with the archons? I don't tend to put them in my paradigm. And blessings, you. I'm going to just say you. Blessings, blessings. Here's the thing. I already had that big, that was one of my major big ones. The big ones with decluttering, Sparky. When I moved out of New York, I could not take barely anything with me. And my parents bought expensive wood, like real wood, gorgeous finished furniture. Gorgeous Italian inlay, I mean, the amount of stuff that my parents had in furniture that I was like heartbroken over, I basically was like, all right, we're gonna donate some stuff, and I got some stuff donated, but a lot of it had to be destroyed. It broke my heart. But my parents said to me as I was doing the process of also pawning their jewelry so I could feed myself, I did pawn a lot. They said, Allison, are you going to enjoy it? If you're not, throw it out, get rid of it, pawn it. What are you going to do with this? It's just a memory that even if you had Alzheimer's, when you transcend, you're going to have it all back anyway. So why are you worried about it? Hi, Devin, or Divine affirmations. So that getting rid of my parents' stuff was one major lesson in detachment. Huge. I wanted to preserve their legacy. They worked so hard for their things. And the truck can only hold so much. And I had a small truck. So that taught me, from my parents giving me the okay, look, you're not taking it in the grave, whatever you decide to do, whether you burn yourself, put yourself in the ground, or do the Viking thing in the middle of the river and the ocean, it doesn't matter. It's not going with you. It's a material object. You can't take your house with you when you die. Point noted, Mom. But of course, those things are hard for all of us because we grow attachment to things. We do. We get attached. And it's okay. It's a human thing. That's another program that needs to be kiboshed. Enjoy. If you are not enjoying, and this is what I looked up when I was upstairs after the windows got put in, and I was pulling the furniture back into places and then sitting there and going like an artist, like, I don't like this composition. Let me change it before I bring everything else out to put in it and on it. I was literally, do I really need this? What could be in its place, or do it minimalist? I'm like, no, that makes me happy, and that makes me happy. When I see that, what is this object giving me? Especially like my mom's tchotchkes. Uh my mom has a humongous cat tchotchke, like Lennox cats, the porcelain stuff. I couldn't get rid of it because I like it. I like the cat. Obviously, it's me. So I'm not getting rid of those. And then she has these like bird Lennox vases and vases and stuff. I like those too. So I chucked a couple of things. Some things are going off to the side as I don't know if I want this out just yet. What do I want to do with it? And let me tell you guys, if you are in the middle of doing this in your life and this is the time to do it, sit with those things. That is very correct. Sit with those things and ask yourself, is this purposeful? Does this bring me joy? Do I have a space for it? And if not, can I throw it out? And for some people that's a process and it takes a long time. But just be aware, give yourself the time. When it comes to what we cherish and hold our memories onto, my parents are always with me in spirit. Literally, they'll come down, you see me tear up, and I know they're here. So I don't necessarily need their furniture anymore. When it comes to my mother's engagement ring, obviously it's on my middle finger. Allison is not taken, so it stays on my middle finger. It, the lucky man that wants to marry me, if that ever does occur, they don't have to buy me shit. I already have a ring. Maybe put it in a new setting. I don't know. I like it. Um, and that's like my keepsake from my mom. And then I have other jewelry that my mom and my dad gifted me. That was mine that I don't wear for obviously I work with children and they can rip things off. We don't need to lose that. My birthstone is also a diamond. So I got a couple of those, fake and real, you know. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people, though, right now, even in the community we're all here in, spiritual or not, everybody is somehow going through the thick of the memories. My Mercury's still in the microwave for another 3 days, and then it goes direct, but that doesn't mean there's not a shadow period, less than the beginning, but it still lingers. So we have to keep that in mind. We also got the basket of shit happening, and for cardinal signs out there, it's been heavy energy for a lot of us. I've been sitting in heavy energy. I've been getting miraculously visited by his adversary. That's awesome, Kurt. Um, that's kind of like another reason why I like a lot of people ask me like why the fuck would I move to Indiana and where I'm at. There's a lot of vintage stores and antique stores and of that nature that there's people that look for the oddest things and it makes them so happy. And if I happen to have something, that's another avenue. I got vinyl up my ass, vinyl records, gotta get them gone. And that's a really good question. Right now, cultivated wise, I am balancing out my shadow and my light, and I'm bringing the bridge in. That's what's happening. I'm succinctly bringing and alchemizing both together. That's what's happening. Uh the shadow side is stepping in again. I had the light side for a while now. The energy that people quite don't understand, they're coming in and they're actually helping me transmute some of this wacky, weird, heavy, dense energy and bringing it to the lighter side. It's great. Because I'm both frequencies. I mean, we all have that feminine, masculine, light, dark. We live in duality. Consciously, most of us understand the frequencies of just being a light worker or just being on the dark side. I inhabit both of them. So I'm alchemizing that part of myself. That's why I'm like, hi, Gothic is out to play today. Not because this is always who I am and always will be. I'm just refining it. I'm painting this and I'm going to probably epoxy it. so that I could use paint on it again. Not Bob Rossing it, but we're going to get there. And yes, and here's the reason. We all need contrast. If the shadow did not do what they, I mean, and we're talking about in polarity of negative and positive of people's agendas on this planet. If the negative side didn't really show their hand, the light would not be exposing it. The light has a purpose as much as the dark has a purpose. It's all for experience. And when we can detach, yeah, they need to be exposed. The light's exposing it. There's going to be people that are ordained, commissioned, appointed for that service. Some of us are here to just grab those like people that are like, hey, I don't know what the hell's going on. Hi, come over here. We're bridges. Some of us are bridges. Most of us are bridges. That is correct, but that eventually will be dissolved. Not in our lifetimes. In my estimation, we are still going to have a 3D until our contracts, our soul contracts, are played out. Then we get to choose the next dynamic in which we ascend, transmute, or transcend to. We get to choose that. That's our free will. That, I mean, hey, please, before I even go anywhere, I forgot my little discernment here. My lovely, I am not here to dictate anybody's reality by any stretch of the imagination. Please go within and know what's true for you. What I'm saying on this channel is just my perception of reality, my experience of knowledge, of walking through experience and going through the feels of things. I'm just giving you how I view reality. Everybody's reality is different. Everybody's on a different frequency. Some of us are very similar on the same wavelength of frequency. So you have this big gap, but some of us are on the wave together. Take that as it resonates. Go within. To me, there is no right or wrong because all perception has its place in this world. It depends what kind of soul you have incarnated with. The fragments of us, some people walk as ascended masters. Some of us, like myself, is an angelic soul. My soul is composed of of the Archangel Collective, Starseed Collective. I have a mixture of it all. My 28,628 lives were not just human lives, they were cosmically developed and also of angelic sort. Hi, Hazel. The Daihan Kohans, the Rishis, they're all working through people right now. It was told that this time was going to occur. It's just we didn't know when. We didn't know when. And some of you, I know that there's a lot of people that come into my chat and they will make their claims and own it. Empower yourself. It's not egoistic to know what you are on the divine scale. You are all divine. All are divine. God, well, let's take it from the Bible perspective. God said, let there be, right? Two atoms collided like the Bose-Einstein, whoosh, and here comes the reverberation of light, of photons, of all of the matter that we see today. It formed. The thought happened. Whatever you want to say, the one infinite creator, the logos, the monad, the pleroma, the all that is. Whatever you equate that to, there's no wrong. Yes, neutral is the connection point. Ra in the law of one will tell you there's a service to self and only self. There's a service to others that also includes a service to yourself, because if you're not servicing yourself, you can't have your cup full to service others. And then there is a neutral path that is a service to God, source, the one infinite creator, as Ra would put it. Many of us, myself is that included in that service to God paradigm. My contract, for many people that have read my Akash, read my blueprints, I have a mission and there's no escaping that fucking thing. Some stuff in my contract is fluid and I could navigate around it. Others, like other things that I cannot steer away from because it's meant to happen. Hi, Kim. Hi, Souls. Have a good night, Divine. And many of us, I mean, there is no one person that's above another in my estimation. It farted. Sparkle farts! But that just means I have to put my little cape around over here. I see. There's caked up paint. Ketchup. I need gesso. No! All right. Better. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For anybody that does paint, just make sure you have a smock on if you're wearing nice clothes. I was going to wear junkier clothes, but I decided not to. And the Curtis books the other day with dreams and visions, wild. Highly recommend you guys checking that out. The Curtises is one of my top top 5 authors. Top. I resonate so much with their work. It's bonkers. And I'm going to say that for many of us that are not really sleeping or having our little, like myself, a cat nap. I do nap now. I'm not sleeping that well at night. I mean, there's other reasons for that. But if you are dreaming or you're being visited, write it down. Even if you get visited all the time, it's worthy to know why you're getting visited, or are you getting upgraded? Are you getting checked on? Are you getting healed? I mean, we don't have to ask. Ashmaya always has a spirit party going on in her house. Um, she just has to tell them, heal my ass, please. But I know a lot of people have been talking about the UFOs and the extragalactic friends that we have. A lot of them have been visiting, not just in ships. They're star families. A lot of people's dragons are out. A lot of people's dragons have been slowly coming to the surface. And it's interesting to know. Yes, spirit is visiting. And spirit could be anything from your higher self to your guides to your family to whoever. Time is speeding up though. It's already January. January. Look at how I'm like just equating this to January. It's July 21st. In under a month, I'm back to work. What? It goes by really quick. It's crazy. The since April, since I wouldn't say, because I've been cleaning things out. It's upside down. Since Firehorse, February, Firehorse, time has flew. And right around my birthday, the day after my birthday, when the parade of planets and all the stuff was like, there was no retrogrades and everything was just chariot away, that felt exhilarating. And that went whoosh. And it felt like we were in a wormhole. For reals. Yeah, Indiana goes back in August. A lot of states do August. I know New York does September. They have a later, but it's also based off the and to be quite honest, August is pretty, it is a hot month. But the Midwest usually does it because of the heat in the summer. They end earlier because it gets hotter over here. And storm season is now, as New York is experiencing. I hope everybody's okay over there. My parents are buried out on Long Island, Cemetery Row out in West Farmingdale, West Babylon, over there in that area. Like, please, nothing happen to their graves. Please have nothing happening. I can't afford that. Oh, Charlene. I have to, once I can get my car functioning, or if if I can get a new one or a newer used one, I'm glad because White Plains had a tornado. I don't know if it came over the news over there because I saw it. Max velocity. But Fire Horse Extraordinaire, I'm gonna make prints of these. I'm also gonna restock prints and some other stuff that I've done. It's just I have to get over to the place, and it's not a drive I could take with a car that goes in limp mode. I remember when I was living in Staten Island, we had at least 2 or 3 tornadoes close to my house. Thankfully, EF zeros, one EF1, tore shingles, but nothing crazy. Nothing that we're not used to with hurricanes. Can't do that anymore. But I'm obviously like putting everything up in the house. I'm like, okay, if we get hit with another tornado over here, Allison's moving, which I'm not taking off the table. I definitely have to look at another option because that up the block was not fun. When Curtis came here to visit, because he was like I kind of was on his way to like Michigan. So he stopped over and we had breakfast, and the way he took to go to Cracker Barrel, we passed all the devastation. It's still devastated up the block. People obviously their homes are getting fixed currently. There's a lot of work happening, but there's still Viking's grandma is living in a like not a hotel, but like one of those condominium places for now because she can't live in that house. It got beyond destroyed. So she's living in a condominium. I got really lucky. I only had the rare flank downdraft, uh, which thankfully didn't knock over my trees. Ooh, yeah, but there's no safe place to live, to go. There's no safe place. There's always some kind of bad weather somewhere. There's flooding in some places. There's wildfires in others. There's earthquake zones. There is mudslides, hurricanes. There's no perfect place. There is none. There is nowhere to go. But what I do know is Earth is purging herself. She's agitated. She's like pissed off. She's transmuting the best to her ability. Um, she's transmuting. Yeah, volcano. I mean, the volcanoes we have. Why I hesitate to move out towards further out west. That Yellowstone doesn't sit well with Allison's vibe. I when I met my biological father and my mother's side of the family, uh I want to say it's like 7, 8 years ago already. They live in Albany, Georgia. That's Southwest Georgia. And I visited there, and they had a tornado go through from the hurricane that hit there. And it was months later, and people still had tarp over their roofs because of the inflated prices of lumber and getting things fixed and insurances and all kinds of stuff. So I look at my circumstances being by myself and saying, could I handle any of this by myself? And down south for me in the Florida, Georgia, because I was looking to go down there. My dad said he had a house that he was going to let me live in. I can't go down there. A, there's nothing for me in Albany, Georgia, besides my family. I don't talk to them. I don't really talk to my siblings. I don't even consider them my siblings. They are my siblings. They're half my siblings, but I don't. And I don't want to have to take care of another parent. I already did two. I don't need to do a third. Sorry, Dad. You chose to knock yourself out and up my mother when she was young. Sperm donor. Anywho, it's too humid for me down there. I also enjoy my 4 seasons. I like my 4 seasons. I like a transition. And there are some places that still have that, but little less and little more. If I were to ever go back to the East Coast, it'd probably Upper East. Massachusetts, New Hampshire area. And I'm not a Vermont person. Massachusetts is gorgeous. And close to Salem. I can always get a job over there, and I wouldn't get turned down. But I like my constitutional carry, so that doesn't work in that state either. Crazy. But we got to look at there is no safe place to live. You got to energetically protect your space. Go in. And this is God, by the way, in sign language. Jesus loves you. Scott, don't. Shh. Oh yeah, I mean, look, I'm happier out here. I like, like when I moved from New York to here, obviously I did not have anybody bound to me. It was just me, and I could have moved anywhere, but knowing that at least here the taxes are lower, I have constitutional carry rights. It just stays in Indiana because not every state sees that. But I could carry. That's my right. I like the castle law. I like the laws that are here. Obviously, Indiana is mafia owned. It's mafia. It's just as bad as New York and Chicago. The mafia is in all these towns, and it's who has this that gets the win. That's how Indiana runs. But it's not alone. It's not the only state that does it, and we got to clean that up. most good people that want to serve in public office never get voted in because they don't have the money. They don't have the backing. And our world should not be that way. I mean, I really, really, really wanted to move to Iceland. I have a very big connective tie to Iceland. But problem one is there is a volcano, multiple volcanoes on Iceland. Two, everything is import export, and you think Ireland is bad? Iceland is worse. Most people take flights to other countries when they're having kids to get the furniture from other countries and then ship it back. It's cheaper. There's no Amazon out there. And not to say that you need Amazon, but if you want like certain fruit and veggies from the States or from around the world, like avocado, Iceland is selling it to you for like $25 a fucking avocado. I don't believe, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. We're still wet, by the way. I don't know if I'm doing both sides, but we're doing one side. And I'm gonna epoxy that whatever I put on it. I don't know what I'm putting on it. I'm just prepping. Yeah, there's volcanoes. Here, let's tap into some energy while the paint dries. We're not going to be bored here. Not today. It's weird how we can outgrow a life before we have the courage to change it. Everything looks normal from the outside, but from the inside, you already know. You know the friendship feels different. You know the job isn't fulfilling anymore. You know you've changed, and yet we have this incredible ability to convince ourselves to stay. Just a little longer because familiar feels safer than unknown. The truth is, your intuition usually knows long before your courage catches up. Maybe that's why I feel so uncomfortable. You're not lost. You're just standing between who you've been and who you've becoming. Tuesday's Blessings! Hi, El Cedric! Beautiful, Leah. Okay, let's just enjoy Freya Cat. I'm so proud of her today. I got this cube. I have it actually. I have a gray one underneath my desk. It's perfect for my office supplies. And I bought one. It was on sale on Amazon. As you still see, the stickers are on it. But I put it together, and Freya finally sat on it and to look out the window. I was like, yes. Yes. She looked at me with conviction, like, what the hell, bitch? And I love this because this has her little reflection in the glass. I was like, and look, when I was recording, I was like, oh, there's her tail. Yeah, I'm so proud of her. It's been sitting there, and I haven't put anything in the cubes just yet. I had put some papers and stuff as I'm trying to clear clutter and stuff. What do I need? What do I don't need? What part of Florida are you in, Souls? Florida has an interesting It has a major Stargate in Sarasota. Florida gets attacked a lot because of the Stargates. Florida has a major one. Hang on, Allison's gonna look for all of us. Ashiana Dean has a beautiful book. Yeah, it's 12 Earth Star Gates. And Sarasota, Florida, Nohasa region, Atlantis. So there is a major Stargate, Earth Gate in Sarasota, Florida. Ashiana Dean still lives down there. She does a lot of work on that Stargate, energetically speaking. Ashmai, do you know where the Island is in Ire by you? Island has a Q site. That's where you access to get to the Stargates. So what a lot of people don't realize that I kind of realized doing the esoteric work that I've looked into, a human cannot just step into a Stargate. You have to have the right frequency and the right resonance within your field, your quantum field, to access these sites. So what happens is that there are jump sites. It's like a portal from one place to another. And some of these sites are ones where you can jump to the major gates. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now, actually, El Sunray. And that's why I don't think I could be down there, because Michigan, Lake Michigan, I'm not close, but I'm not far from it. I'm like a half-hour drive if I were to go to Gary, to the beach. Lake Michigan, closer to between Michigan and Wisconsin, has not as bad as a Bermuda Triangle, but it has its own triangle. That's also a Stargate. Yes, Hawaii is Hawaii is a Q site. I'm looking through the book right now. I don't want to get yelled at for showing it. Bermuda Islands. So this is the hulls of Amenti planetary sites. The South Pole. It's an Atlantis portal. Sarasota, Florida. Bermuda Islands. Cairo, Giza, Egypt. Machu Picchu. Lake Titicaca. Moscow, Russia. Xi'an, China. Bam Iso, Tibet. Abdon, Iran. Vale of Pesquet, England. Montexor, France. And then there's these access points in the oceans. West Antarctica. How's that? So the Q sites and the access to them: Cyprus, Easter Island, Chile, Johannesburg, South Africa, Aguas Calientes, Mexico. Vatican City, Rome. Thar Desert, India. Paxos, Greece. Another place in Tibet. Westbury, UK. Basara, Iraq. Island, Ireland, and Kauai, Hawaii. And then the Ark of the Covenant Stargates, Adair, Ireland, Stonehenge, England, Seattle, Washington State, Manhattan Island, that's NYC, that's Manhattan. And by the way, you guessed it, Ground Zero. Bali, South Pacific. Ayers Rock, Australia. Phoenix, USA. Phoenix, Arizona, guys. Atlantic Ocean, Bermuda. Antarctica, Baghdad, Iraq. Oh, can we imagine why we're at war at Baghdad for so long? Newgrange, Ireland. Cornwall, UK. Trinity Stargates, Malibu Beach, Malibu, California. Belize City, Belize. Off the west coast of Goa, India. My house, Staten Island, New York. My old house. Southwest of Castiglione, Tuscany, Italy. There's one in Burma, Fiji, Auckland City, North Island, New Zealand. Lake Superior off of Thunder Bay, Canada. There's a temple in Egypt. Epsom Downs, Surrey, UK. Northwest of Cork, Ireland. There's a lot in Ireland. Now there's Fort Trinity Hub, so south of American Falls Reservoir, Idaho. There's one in Morocco. North Cornwall, UK. Crystal Seals. There's one in France, Bulgaria, west of Jacksonville, USA in the ocean, south of Madeira, ocean, west of Corky, I don't know how to pronounce that. West Africa, Sahara Coast, There's two in the, I would have to look at a map to see. I have the map, but I'm gonna go back up and just I have a hunch about our hurricanes. There's another Stargate 2, Sarasota. The Painted Desert in Arizona is a primary vortices. There's one in Jerusalem. Himalayan Mountains, Giza, Egypt, Machu Picchu, and the Caucasus Mountains, Russia. Why everybody's like, what are you asking all this stuff for? Because Mary Michael Hub. Where are you, Africa? Damn it. No. Maybe. No, it's too high. Allison's thinking was the propulsion system underneath Africa that churns up the hurricanes and stuff in the Atlantic. It's not that. I thought it could have been that. Yes. Now, do we know why they launch where they launched the rockets from? And the rockets regular. Sorry, guys. Just checking the phone. Oh, we're still damp. You're damp, but that's all right. So yeah, there's a lot of activity in a lot of these places, so um don't get too hung up on it. But the changes going on in Earth right now are necessary. Ruth Montgomery and her guides kind of said, you know, when we shift as a humanity, that doesn't say that things aren't going to happen, but the magnitude of how they happen lessen. And that's kind of where a lot of us need to understand where to place our energy. And sure, these things have a need to be for whatever the reasons are. I'm not God. I don't have his will. Whether the machines are corrupted or not, whether there's DARPA happening or it's naturally occurring, whatever it is, it's still divine will for it happening. We could alchemize and transmute the force of the energy. It's not going to not happen. It might shift it so that it doesn't have a big impact of destroying people. Of course, and then you go into the Curtis books and they talk about collective karma. Not because you're a bad person in this life, but there's some people that are justified some karma by where they live. My best soul sister friend, I known her since forever. She moved from Staten Island to Orlando. She's a lawyer. I do have an Esquire friend. Um, she lives in Orlando. I happen to like Florida. I've been there a couple of times. Energetically, I don't know. I'll know when it's time. July 21st. The moon stands half illuminated tonight, and the remaining half is still accelerating toward its fullness. Let that become a reminder to your spirit. Not everything has to be complete before it becomes beautiful. Let that place gratitude before your spirit. Let that place grace before your footsteps. Sometimes the greatest revolutions are born while heaven is still preparing the second half. Your next move is holy. Never stop honoring the unseen power that has been quietly lifting your life from one level to another. Your guardians removed paths that would have stolen your peace long before you knew the danger was there. Give gratitude to the people who walked away. Give gratitude to the silence that rebuilt your spirit, refined your glow, and broke delays that were never meant to follow your destiny. Give gratitude for the table that was not empty when so many prayed for a single meal. Never allow ordinary blessings to become invisible simply because they happen every day. Hold on to grace. Protect it. Your redirection is far too beautiful to be defeated. What is already making its way toward your life has crossed a point where no evil can stop its arrival. Keep your heart grateful. The rest of the light is already finding its way to you. Yeah, I do too, Miss Kim. I'm the same way. Everybody serves a purpose and a reasoning in your life. If they find their way back, it's because the vibration is matched and hopefully they've grown and learned. If they're no longer in your locality anymore, they're not on your frequency. I say it all the time. The split that's supposed to be happening is not one where people are like, I mean, yeah, sure, people are physically leaving all the time. That doesn't stop. But if you went to high school with a bunch of people and grew up with a bunch of people and now you go off to college, you're leaving the locality of your high school friends. And you're branching out. That doesn't mean they go away. That means you went over there, right? You get a family, you move, and that high school dichotomy and dynamic, it's not because you hate those people. You're moving on with your life. You're accelerating into something, another timeline. That part of you is already done with. Now you're moving on to bigger and better. Or not. It's those people just don't go away. They're just not in your locality to experience them anymore. Sure, you can have them on Facebook, but they're not in your actual locality. There's a huge difference. And it's not like you're talking to these people every day. Half of my Facebook is my high school graduating class. And I keep tabs on all of them, but are they any of them in my locality? No. They're over there. Over there doesn't need to be bad. But you get to choose who's in your locality. You get to choose. You're the captain of your ship, and you get to steer it wherever you damn please. So choose wisely. But even that, I landed in a spot, never been here before. Divine orchestrated. I had a mission before this. Mission ended. I'm not bound to here anymore. Energetically, I still have work to do on the land. That can't be ignored. But go find somebody that looks at the white woman and goes, I need to have you help me clear a ley line. I'm bananas. July 21st. The universe is saying as Mercury retrograde approaches its final days, many people notice the emotions, old memories, and unresolved conversations seem to rise to the surface with greater intensity. Rather than seeing this as something going wrong, consider it an invitation to slow down and observe what is asking for your attention. The end of a retrograde often feels like the final chapter of a healing process. Whatever has been hidden now seeks understanding. If strong emotions appear, don't push them away. Sit quietly with them and ask, what are you trying to teach me? Like way earlier when I began the live, it's a question that we need to ask ourselves. What is this, and what do I need to solve from this? What is it teaching me? Often the feeling itself is not the problem. It is pointing towards something within you that's ready to be acknowledged, healed, or released. Have a good night, Charlene. Thank you for coming. Yes. Oh, I know. I'm launching a merch shop within the next couple of days. I'm like, but Spirit kept telling me, wait. I'm like, no. But then it's like, at least wait for the Mercury retrograde to go. And I usually don't allow my life to be dictated by a Mercury retrograde or any retrograde by the least. But I don't ignore upstairs. So I gotta wait. But that gives me extra time to look at my options. I'm really set on one to start with. But something might be drawing me somewhere else. So I'm looking at, there's 3 different stores, websites that do the stores that I could sell things off of, and I haven't put my finger on which one I'm going with yet. And thanks to the 4D members, I got a lot of good feedback, and I definitely agree. But guys, Allison has to go. Number 1, I will be right back. The bathroom is around the corner, I promise. I will be right back. I'm back. Hi, guys. Sorry about that. I couldn't hold it in any longer. I got old lady bladder. Which sucks, by the way. I swear. All you wise women that went through the pause. I know every woman goes through it differently. Someone needs to write a book. A collective women's book. I swear. My mom didn't go through it until she hit like late 40s, early 50s. I'm fucking young going through it. It's annoying. Because it's a fucking mystery. I tell you, men, take caution. I don't think women even know what the hell goes on. The next 3 days, Moon in Scorpio, square Pluto, RX. And Jupiter, we'll just say RX. Opposite Chiron in a grand fixed cross. Hidden wounds and emotional depth charges. Buried trauma and unresolved childhood issues are brought or triggered to the surface. So this is within all of us, guys. Our childhood wounds and all that stuff, you can heal them, you can let it go, but there's there's millions of instances where something you had no idea you suppressed is lurking beneath. You may experience control struggles, attachment, panic, or intense feelings of abandonment, especially in family relationships. Someone may be trying to control you or your actions, as well as projecting their own fears onto you. This is where you will need to stand up for yourself. Be in your truth and set strong boundaries. Avoid emotionally manipulating or abusing others to control people or outcomes. This will heavily backfire on you instantly, teaching you not to do this again. Expect irrational fears, compulsive habits, and temporary bouts of feeling mentally overwhelmed as your nervous system works in overdrive to process this. Do not suppress your emotions. Dive into what is causing you discomfort. Find some alone time, sit with yourself. Recognize toxic influences, including draining people or habits, and let them go. I'm going to tell you what. That, I'm alchemizing some of that stuff. Not necessarily the childhood or the abandonment. That the abandonment came when I was born. That I already released. People dumping on me. That is where my boundaries are. I mean, in some essence, I'm also going through a dark night of the soul, but it doesn't feel like the ones I've been through. The ones where I'm curled up in the fetal position, like asking the gods upstairs, like, what the fuck? Do am I relinquishing the ego? What am I doing? Is it all a boom, ego death, dark night of the soul, and some mental illness? I agree with you, Sparky. Because I was even asking the universe, like, why all these changes, like right now? But I will say, in my biochemical body, I know already 90% of my problems is hormonal imbalance. And to figure out the different, I don't go to the doctor anymore. I can't afford to go to the doctor and get labs, and I'm not at the age either where I can get some, government assistant healthcare to just do basic shit. To know where my hormones, because it's specialized testing. I know my problem is hormonal. For sure. Right now, I'm weeding out I'm using different supplements, trying to get my cortisol under control. Not that I'm stressed. Listen, every day is a blessing, and every day I'm just like, excited to see Freya. I am excited to get up and get some errands in my house done. I'm loving when I'm walking to the store. It's a great exercise. I'm doing my lawn work. I'm getting lost in seeing the beautiful butterflies and all of nature happening. Like, I'm not stressed. The windows, fucking game changer. What a damn game changer. It puts a smile on my face. Revamping the space upstairs, it's making me feel like empowered, like this is mine. And I can make it any way I want to. It's great. But so I'm using different supplements and trying to keep at least 2 weeks on the same regimen to see if anything is happening. One thing I will say that is absolutely working is beef organ. I'm taking pills, beef organ. That's been helping me big time. I just got some cortisol, and somebody that was in the chat last, I forgot what day, and I don't know where my post-its went, wrote something down, and I ordered that. So I'm starting a whole different regimen of stuff. The detox stuff I'm still doing, but I'm lessening it because I need the nutrients to stay in me and not go out. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just going based off Allison's experience. Please be advised to go to your physician to get any medical advice. Really? It's working. And I'm not taking those like crazy, there's Primal Queen, and they're all like flooding my feed. I can't afford any of that stuff. And I've used stuff before. My body reacts to my own progesterone, so I got to be ridiculously careful what I put in my body. So I do a lot of research. But the it's gonna bug me until I find that post-it pad. But wherever it is, someone was in the chat I'd never seen before, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've used this. And it was like right before I ended, and I caught it and I wrote it down. I just started that. Because I'm definitely feeling it. Not so much emotionally, but in the body, I'm feeling it. I don't feel right. I don't like it. The 21st of July. Start setting a trend of recognized manifestations. You do it every day, but rarely acknowledge it. We do. We collapse in observation, our reality. If you have a taste for some tea and wind up drinking it, that's a manifested route. From desire to production of your request, no matter how small. The more you see your power to deliver from every angle, small or large, the more you amplify your practice. Set the trend. You're manifesting every single moment with each new breath of life. It's true, you are. The big ones come around when you are in alignment with the truth of your innate gifts. Let's get it. Woo! Oh yeah, Sparky. Uh that's why I take it in a pill form. Because One of my friends that's like a juice, he doesn't juice, but he's like one of those workoutaholics. His brother is into nutrition and performance fitness coaching and all that. And I asked him to ask his brother um for a woman what would be best. So far, everything I'm taking is, but with anything organic and anything natural, you got to let it take its time. There's no like quick fix to your system. You just got to be consistent in your patterning. That's why I'm giving things some time before not to say I'm not taking them, I just switch up the dosing or the time of day that I'm doing it in. I've been on I do parasite detoxing every 2 months. I just finished. Nothing's coming out of me because I'm consistent. And I've been doing this for years. And I I I tend to stay away from things that are very heavily in parasites. You can't avoid them. Uh, as we could see, there's exploding poo still in the news. And no, it's not Taco Bell. You know, anybody that owns an animal, don't get grossed out, but you're exposed more than you think to parasites. So I don't overdo it because if I overdo things, my body gets assimilated to it and then it doesn't work. So the pastes, that stuff I'll do every 3 months. Yes. My muscle testing, when I'm doing what I do, um, my intuition also tells me give it time. I'm actively, literally, why I went to the bathroom is I'm drinking a lot of alkaline water. Um, like I said, it's kind of hard for me when I don't have a car to pick out my own produce. So lemon water is not on the menu right now. But I do go to the store and I trust because I've tested the water that I get. Um, they carry a brand from Iceland that I love, and it tastes amazing. You could taste water. There is a taste, and I know all about it because I can't stand water, but this one I'll drink the shit ton out of. So I get that. That's why I walk to the store. It gives me a nice exercise, but it also, I get my water. I have my tea. So I've been drinking a lot less caffeine. Obviously, I have my coffee, but I'm even the last couple of days I'm having one coffee instead of two a day. I haven't touched the soda. I think I had one this week. So like there's little changes within me that I'm not craving as much sugar. And sure, I do need it because a couple of times I did wake up like I'm gonna pass out. My sugar's low. I got to have something. And thank you everybody that's putting stuff in the chat because I think it's not everybody is gonna not every chemical out there or herb is gonna work with everybody. So the more that we put these ideas out and these things, the better. Um my gut and my higher sense is when I muscle test things, everything is like, yeah, try it. Biochemically, things work at first, and then my body says no more. That's why I go on and off of, and let me just put it this way, guys. With all the allergies to food that I have, I've had reduction diets, and I've had many, many instances of over nutriating myself in one area and depriving my body of other things in another area, because you're strictly doing this diet, or you're strictly like only eating this stuff. And you got to be very careful with that and have a balance, unless you really know your body and what it needs. And every day is a different day. Just make sure your diet and everything is structured so that you're getting what you need and the amounts that you need it in. Not every, like for me, I am drinking a lot more water, but at the same time, my body, I will get nauseous if I drink too much. I've had that multiple times. And even for the guys out there, I'm going to be honest. I have some men out there that talk to me about, like, men go through changes too. It's not women, obviously, there's a little bit more involved with the weight gain and area. Like for me, it's the poof is coming out a little bit more, and I'm like, I never had that in my life. What is that? Saddlebag butt, and I'm walking and I'm working out and nothing's going away. But men also go through changes, and we don't really talk about it either. And guys out there, if you are experiencing the changes of your life and you're using something, don't feel shy. Write it in the chat. There's no, I know this, I'm a woman, but men also go through some changes emotionally, hormonally as they age. Absolutely. For those of you that don't know about the basket, Jupiter blesses the basket. Oh, does it? Oh. July 20th and 21st, activate lucky Jupiter inside the bulbar basket. I don't even think I'm saying that name right. Expanding good fortune until blessings begin pouring through love, communication, abundance, wish fulfillment, and sudden positive change. Jupiter in Leo magnifies heart-led confidence. Neptune in Aries charges dreams with action and courage. Pluto in Aquarius draws fated people towards your path. I know, time linear, I'm waiting. Uranus in Gemini sends the message, sign, vision, download, or conversation that changes everything in an instant. I'm still waiting. Prepared for fated invitations, emotional revelations, unexpected communication, prosperous introductions, creative sparks, and something you held in faith, finally gaining forward momentum or movement. This is blessing overflow energy, where signs multiply, messages open new paths, and long-held wishes arrive within the future that was always written for you. And let me say this, guys. I read all these things because it's putting in an energy into your consciousness, things to look forward to. Should you expect any of this stuff? Like I said, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for my blessings, for the big messages, for the people that come in to help me, so that my life can't be as ridiculously hard as it is. I'm waiting. Oh, that sounds really good. I love salmon. Oh, that sounds so delish. I can't wait to get to a store that I could pick my produce, because I want to make my fruit juices again. I mash up a whole bunch of amazing love and I make a smoothie, but smoothie does not involve ice cream or dairy. It's just infused tea with oh, it's so good. I miss that. I gotta listen to AQ, Mr. Alexander Quinn. I didn't get a chance to today. Um, Something I do want to tackle though. Oh, that's amazing. I have to get up there. Something's been eating at me, guys. And I can paint again. Something's been eating at me. My adopted dad had a brother who took himself out. You get the drift. He had schizophrenia. Spirit, how spirit works is weird with me and many of you too. Things on my Facebook or YouTube feed will just pop something up that's random that I would never go down the rabbit hole to looking into, because it's just not anything my brain conceives, right? I'm not thinking about these things. One of these videos that Spirit put in front of me was about schizophrenia and us and a girl. I don't know how old she is. She looked like to be in her like late teens, early 20s. Um, was talking about like having a moment and filming it. And I'm like asking Spirit, why are you showing this to me? But I listened and she was talking about Spirit, that she saw Spirit, that she was seeing things. Now, there is a distinction between having abilities and having a mental illness. And I think that's where the blurred line happens. For somebody that's schizophrenic, they have hallucinations, auditory and imagery. But the more I listen to this woman, this girl, obviously there's other things going on with this child of God. You could see her eyes dilating and her just disassociating, and every breath there's a lot going on there. But what I picked up on is she's not actually hallucinating. Not in every instance. I can't make, I don't know, I'm not in her head. But I think people that have some mental issue that are seeing and hearing are actually seeing and hearing. Sure, there's other despondent things going on in their brain and their chemistry, but I'm going to tell you what, legit, this child was seeing spirit and hearing them. Now, the classical psychological world will deem it a hallucination. And I know many of us, including myself, my parents were stone cold dead taking me to a therapist. They were afraid, spirit agrees. They were afraid that I too was schizophrenic. So they didn't want what happened to my dad's brother to happen to me. I'm hoping that there are more spiritual people out there that have abilities. Maybe at some juncture, I would love to have a conversation with somebody that is a medium with a person that that's having a moment in their mental state that's hallucinating and crosshairs on what's actually happening. Because I really doubt that half of the people that claim they are hallucinating are, I think they're really seeing beyond the veil. For sure. Now, I watched another video with a guy who closed his eyes and he was getting movie scenes like I do sometimes. Mine are about me and my other selves, where his is about insane. Like that is absolutely what's going on with his brain, is absolutely hallucination, doesn't make sense, and you cannot apply what he was talking about to making it make sense. So his movie reel, in my eyes, was absolutely a hallucination and not of this world, but nothing good. It was all violent and gory and nasty. I'll spare details, but the girl was talking about all these entities that she was interacting with. No one else could see. Does that not sound familiar, all of you? Child has abilities. And that's where all of our abilities shut down, because my parents, I will say this, my parents were fearful because of what I wrote in my dream journals back then. I was journaling back as a young child. Have a good night, Miss Souls. Synthesized souls. Have a good night. There's a Mr. and a Mrs. conjoining. I promise there's a dynamic there for you. Um yeah. And I'm here because I've had a lot of friends take themselves out. My family, I have two family, my biological mother and my uncle took themselves out. So I'm not here to make fun of anybody with mental illness at all. I'm a big person that you really should seek out help. And even for myself, I really at some juncture in my 20s was looking for a therapist that was empathic. Now, a therapist is not going to tell you they're empathic unless they advertise it. But there is I don't know why Spirit put that in front of me, beyond the fact that maybe someone out there looking for a career pivot that might be a therapist but might have abilities. We need more therapists out there that deal with kids with abilities, because not every child might have some other type of psychosis and mental illness. But I don't undoubt that people that are saying and claiming they're having hallucinations, it might well be their abilities opening up, and there's nobody there to actually let them know how to control it without taking medication and without having a psychotic break. You know, I'm not saying everybody that has a mental illness is having abilities, but you could clearly see when people are talking to thin air, there might be something more to that. Sorry, guys, I just want to make sure that this is nice and smooth. Smooth criminal. Bum ba da da bum bum ba da dum dum da da dum dum dum. All right, I'm back. Sparky, I agree with you. And like I said, I Spirit puts things in front of my eyes for a reason, and it shows people's humanity when they're able to be there in front of a camera and literally going through an episode. We call them episodes or a moment or whatever you want to call it, that they're literally like not themselves and they're having these in it to win it situationals. And if there was more people that had the ability to be able to see what they're seeing and just tell them they're not nuts, maybe, or what they're seeing is not this reality, they're zipping into another reality, just like the kids that I deal with at my job that are autistic and nonverbal and totally in their own universe. They're seeing beyond the veil. They're interacting with things that are not of this density. I know that because I could see sometimes the little children in my room playing with other little children that are not there for the other children to play with. I see these things. I tried finding a therapist that was at least empathic and understood spirituality. So if something were to come up, that I would be able to do that. Hang on, guys. Mother trucker. Yeah. I could text on my phone. I like that. That's one of the major reasons why I want to be able to get those books out for the kids with the cats. All right. Hold on to your hats, guys. I have to go upstairs for a second. There's someone at my door, but I already know who that is. So give me a few seconds, give me a minute or two, guys, and we'll go over the conversations. I will be right back. Sorry, guys. Woo! I'm a nice friend. Allison has to go to the bank as well. Money. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. I do nice things for friends. Sparky, absolutely. I had a lot of I could say that I get people on my Facebook that see what I post and ask me if I'm a therapist. I'm like, no, but I could try to help give you some advice, but I'm not a professional by any stretch of the imagination. But here's what worked for me. And that's kind of the way I go. I got paint on my little seat cushion thing here. You know, I think a lot of our higher selves positioned us where we are for a reason and for experience purpose. But it would be nice to instill into people that because you see things that other people can't doesn't mean you're nuts. And for parents out there with children that, you know, they like my teacher has her child is gifted, can see her dead relatives. I'm like, don't ever shut that ability in her. And if she needs advice, I'm here to help steer her when she gets older. It's super important that we don't shut out that conversation. My parents had no idea. They thought I was cray-cray. But because of what happened to my uncle, would refuse to go get me the help that I needed. But did I really need it? Or I just needed an avenue to learn. And eventually it came. It does suck, but I'm telling you what, it's not easy. Especially when you're young and you don't have, you know, the world is shaped in such a way that it's not accepting with religious values and institutions telling you, you're worshiping the devil. You're child of the devil. No, I'm a child of God. Aren't we all? Uh, yeah, I might be able to have my car looked at tomorrow because of the favor that I just did for a friend. I ordered some stuff off Amazon because I have Prime and they needed it ASAP. Uh, and I got part of their delivery today, and they came to pick it up. That's why I was out. I had to go outside and drop off a little package. Yes. Yes, and my teacher is I mean, and I'm very, very blessed. Every classroom that I've ever worked in, you know, I had some people very hesitant. I worked with a Jehovah's Witness in my past life in New York, and but she thought I was the devil until I convinced her otherwise, and I gained her trust, and I told her that everything that is in a book is to be believed. And I proved my worth to her, and it opened her up. That doesn't mean she changed her religion in any way, but she expanded her consciousness enough to see that I was not a harmful person. and that I was of the light for her. My teacher is very open and doesn't question anything that I say in terms of like, hey, I'm going to silently pray over this child. I hope you're okay with it. A lot of what I do is quiet because, again, I don't need eyes on me. Like, you can't bring religion into school, and I'm not bringing anything into school besides good energy and my angels. But go tell them that. I'm protecting you all from crazy shit. Go figure. Go figure. Gotta love. For Ash Maya's purpose, because I saw it and during Sid's live today, she's been seeing 4444444 everywhere. Well, here we are. This is for you, Ash Maya. Once in a lifetime vessel, unlocking your biggest blessings and breakthroughs. If this message reaches you before the 24th, the rarest planetary alignment unseen for over 100 years has arrived and will impact your life. Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune have formed a sacred vessel, the basket, peaking until July 22nd. The next 72 hours unlocks a new era with answered prayers, restoring your lost years, bringing good fortune, fated manifestations, divine direction, and miracles. Be prepared for major turning points. Seeing the number 4 confirms this message. Engage to claim it and ensure you're following us. That's for you, Ash. Yes. And I think all of us at those inner child wounds, and they are wounds, for me and for so many of you guys too, I want to see the next generation of children and children that have abilities not be stifled because of the dogma of 3D. I want kids to know it's okay that you're seeing ghosts and you're seeing aliens and that you're seeing things is not on just because other people can't see it doesn't mean other people can't. Some people cannot and some people can. And if you have a gift from source, that's a blessing, not something to be discarded and to be told, well, you're evil. Yeah, Ash is saying in the chat with on Sid's channel, yeah, she kept seeing 444. So I was like, well, here's another 4444 for you, girl. And a lot of these things that I do post, and a lot of us are not seeing the beautiful, mysterious miracles, and no one's walking into your path that's going to change your life. Like, it's to put that energy in the touch and feels of your higher self. Hey, I want that too. I want my life to change. These words of encouragement and these blessings that these people talk about, it's an energy to thrive off of, not to dismiss that it's not going to happen for you. A lot of this stuff, I'm like, yep, I'm waiting. But at the same breath, It's stuff that I'm like, oh, do I need a surprise? Ah, faded manifestation. Well, every day's faded. Every day I'm manifesting. Aww. Fat fingers. I agree with that, Sparky. Um, change is quiet. Blessings come in every day. You know, I was a blessing to my friend that asked me, hey, I need something and I don't have Amazon Prime, but you do. Could you be a help for me? And I'm like, sure, I could do that. And now I got to go to the bank. But I was able to help out someone today and tomorrow because the rest of their stuff is coming. But yeah, it's one of those things that if you can help a person out, I'm always a helpful person. I try to do the best that I can to do that. I'm also hoping that I can get some answers on my car. Um, or a ride to the store because I tried ordering a battery and it's like, oh, only for pickup. Shit. That's still wet. For all those crafty people out there, I am going to be painting on my little palette right here. It's particle board. Don't know what yet, but I'm going to epoxy it so I can actually use it and clean it. It's fun. I don't know what we're going to put on there, but it's going to be good. This perspective of the day, the people who love you will understand. And I know all of us can equate to this. The people who truly love you may not agree with every decision you make, but they will respect your right to make it. Healthy relationships leave room for honesty, growth, and change. You don't have to live your life trying to keep everybody happy. The people who are meant to walk beside you will adjust as you grow. Trust that the right relationships can handle your boundaries, your dreams, and your authentic self. We all have to understand that also. I have a ton of friends in every level of frequency, resonance. I can only give advice. If they want to walk the slower path, it's their right to do so. And I'm not there to judge them. I'm there to hold their hand when they come back to me and they learn their lesson. I'm not there to take the lesson away. Not everything do you need to agree with everybody with. And the same for you. Your friends don't need to agree with your lifestyle choice, where you're moving, what you're eating, all of that. If we can all just love each other for who we are and the beautiful essences that we are, That's all that matters. And the people that love you will always be at your side. They don't abandon what they love. They give you space. Yeah, El Summary, that's an interesting point you bring up. And I like that you brought it up. I can't speak for everybody on this, but I know for many of us that have abilities, it's a burden, it's a responsibility, and it's something that a lot of people are envious and jealous of. But with great power comes great responsibility. And you could see out there in the socials, in the world, the people that take advantage of their gifts and people who are honest about them. People who are there to make an honest living, trying to help others, and then people aggrandizing off of it. I know that there are plenty of people in certain movements that have, join my email list. Sure, I'll support you in any way that I can. And when I get a private message or an email stating, oh my gosh, you have implants, like you need them removed. $800, and I could sit there and I could focus in on your energy and take those implants out. What? Implants? Yeah, I could take your implants out. No. No, thanks. That's my rational, logical mind. There is a level of wanting to understand where these people are coming from. And at the same time, you could tell who is there to do the righteous works and want to being a help without going off the rails. Most of us are validating for others. I know for my own self, I had to eat that a couple of times because most people come to me and they want confirmation because something in them doubts their own self. Whether it be seeing aliens, whether it be seeing shadow figures or feeling something is off or around them that they can't kind of grasp verbally. And usually it's us that are very well out in the open with, hey, I'm not ashamed of who I am. And for some of us that have the awareness of being a star seed and from what systems, and I'm saying systems plural because it's not just one, and have the awareness of what is running in us, through us, it's nothing to be envious or jealous about because everybody has it. You're just not aware of it yet. And that sometimes is not in this lifetime for you to know. For some of us, for at least me, I can only speak for myself. What I get and what comes through me is dual in nature, and most people are afraid when I say the adversary. because they equate it to evil and they equate it to things that is a third dimensional concept and not a higher one. And that's what I'm challenging with the scientific community in physics, because their understanding of dimension and density is mathematical, not spiritual. Sure, we are bound by mathematics and we are bound by certain laws of nature. Granted, it's 3D, it's linear. But if they were to ever postulate how other systems and other dynamics of this reality work, they might get their answers. I'm just about finishing up episode 3. In the last episode, portion of it is the delay choice experiment. It's another thought experiment. Schrodinger's cat is also a thought experiment. And what's funny is these guys were not out to prove what it's showing. They were trying to not prove what their work proved. Erwin Schrödinger wasn't trying to get into quantum mechanics in that aspect of that thought experiment. He was trying to prove it wrong. He ended up proving it right. And now we're actually having experiments via not a cat, but with equipment that can measure these things with more precision than back in their time. But what they put out there really set in motion thinking. And the delayed choice experiment is everything that I talk about. It's we create our own reality. We are measuring where the photon is and where it goes and what it becomes. It happens like this. It's faster than the speed of light. So you're not cognizant, you don't even think of these things, but our brains orchestrate a lot of the things that are going on in your world. And every choice that we make, every decision, every thought that comes in from the field, we're orchestrating molecules and atoms and subatomic particles to create our landscape. That's bananas. But soon enough, it will be proven. And the wording on the choice delayed experiment by John Wheeler is not an easy one to orchestrate in your own words. So it's been where I've been stuck at, but I got some headway the other night. But it's one where the Buddhists, the Taoists, and other avenues of Eastern religion has been like, we're all one. It's hitting the Western world now here more than ever. Or we go all. Yes. We're only here to understand. So third density is becoming self-aware. When you go to fourth degree consciousness, let's just call it even a degree, but like fourth dimension, fourth density, expanded consciousness, you're now recognizing you're divine. Third density is all about self-awareness, knowing thyself. On the higher octave of 3, it's knowing thyself in all its capacity, not just this body you're looking at in the mirror. There's dynamics to it. Well, electricity can have a dull. So it doesn't mean, dull doesn't mean a dull, a full or dull. I know you meant full, but dull is also where you're not, you're still creating a flow of circuitry in your system. The voltage is going, but you might have a blockage somewhere where it's trickling through instead of like doing its thing. Most people are walking around with dull circuitry, aka nervous systems. And that a lot of people have asked me about manifestation and the talking about it. It really all stems in the nervous system. Even Brian Scott, who creates a lot of his guided meditations, recently going into the quantum field and understanding quantum mechanics better, kind of unleashed the beast the other day and said, oh, it's your nervous system, because that's where the field is. That's where your electromagnetic is pulling and receiving information. You are a broadcast system. You're a radio tower. You're receiving and transmitting energy from your electromagnetic field, your heart. Your nervous system is your field inside of you. Law of attraction. If you're putting out negative energy, you're receiving it back. If you're putting out good energy, you're receiving it back. Now, the catch 22 here is that people think what I attract, what I give out, I attract, but that's not exactly how that works. You could put good energy out there and you might have the shittiest day, but like a few days from now, you might just have a shitty day, but now you're receiving some good news. You're seeing someone smile at you. Your interactions are easier. So you got to look at things where what you expect is not what you get. Not in that dynamic. I'm kind of perplexed what to put here. We're still drying. For anybody that paints, when paint is not dry, it's shiny in the light. I'm still shiny. Still shiny. Gosh, I have a lot of notifications. A lot. Here's more 444 action. Oop, let me do that. Today is not an ordinary day. Today is the final peak of the rare 4-4-4-4 alignment, 4 of the most powerful planets in our solar system. Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto all gathered at exactly 4 degrees simultaneously, forming what astrologers call the basket. This configuration has never existed in our lifetimes. This is your last peak energy inside the most powerful cosmic alignment of the century. This alignment is bringing abundance that arrives without warning, breakthroughs in situations that felt permanently stuck, answered prayers you almost stopped believing in, unexpected opportunities that changed everything, deep healing in places you stopped expecting to heal, and fated encounters with people meant to change your story. Affirm. I received the final and most powerful wave of this rare alignment today. Everything meant for me is arriving right now. My life is changing in the most beautiful ways. Are you ready? Yes. Yes. I know when I'm in that flow. I so when I'm in the healing center, I move a lot of energy with my hands. I do a lot of this. I'm always moving my hands up and down to the side. I'm feeling the atmosphere. I'm using my energy out of my hands. That's where I heal. That's why I got to be in person to do a lot of things. But I do a lot of this. Wax on, wax off. Um, if no one knows, I would say try to find free Tai Chi. There's YouTube people out there that do it, and they do it for, they have free stuff just to learn how to move your body and move your energy and unkink your muscles. I love Tai Chi, Qigong, all of that. It centers you, it focuses you. Yoga is not for everybody. I'm not against yoga. I'm not, it depends who your teacher is. It depends what form of yoga that you're doing. I'm more of a Tai Chi, Qigong person. Going to work in certain areas in New York, close to Chinatown, they built a lot of these massive parks in the middle, in between all these apartment buildings. And a lot of the times when I would work in those areas, I would sit in the park and eat my breakfast and watch all the people line up in rows and just start all in sync doing these fluid, beautiful movements with their bodies. I was blown away. I'm like, I want it. I don't think they'll take the white girl with them, but I used to watch. It was just gorgeous to watch them move. Um, it's something to try, and you can do that, but and it is energy work. And to be honest with you guys, I know a lot of people have messaged me in the past about those TikToks that people fold tin foil and it moves and it jumps. I'll just leave my facial expressions to do the work on it, my own stuff. Yes. I watched a guy years ago. I cannot find the video. It probably got scrapped along. He was in the middle of a field. It was fall and no wind. He's like, look at the trees, they're still. And he's just doing this and like really in deep thought. And I don't know, like it took a while. It really did. It took like a long while. The guy was like starting to bead sweat off his forehead. VHS style, guys. It's not one of those, old school cameras, right? And he was able to start moving the leaves in a vortex of a tornado-y looking thing. He got the trees and he's like, look, the trees are not moving from the wind. This is not wind. This is my energy pulling up the leaves. It was insane. What's his name? Not Peter the Insider. There's a guy that not work with, but like happened to be a part of James Rink's circle, who has his own like somatic psionic ability school. I do believe there are people out there that can shift and telekinetically move things. She is a different, what that guy was doing with the leaves was not psionic. It was his energy field, and he learned how to work with it. I've also seen people levitate. It's mind over matter, but it's also like getting themselves in a kind of trance state to work with the atoms around them to lift them up. There is no spoon. Oh, that's amazing. That is absolutely something I would absolutely love to learn in its totality. I could tell you now, the Asian population, why they live so long is not just dietary, it's their movements. As fragile as some of them look, they are really ridiculously strong and they are really resilient. For sure. And it's something that we could take from. All the people that I worked at the YMCA with and watched, all the members that used to go there, they were all over 55. Most of them were in their 70s and 80s. There was one woman every day, she was 62 at the time, wakes up and was the first one in the pool and did almost 100 laps, different strokes. And then she would go sit in they had their simple tai chi. She would do that. Then she would do paddleball, go back and do a sauna for a little bit, and then go to a yoga class. I'm like, you're insane. She's like, here's the key to looking young and thriving. Never stop moving. She's like, yeah, there's time for rest. She goes, I go into the sauna and I take my rest. And then the rest of my day, I'm reading books. I'm nourishing my soul. I'm doing what my body needs. I'm doing what my energy needs. Amazing woman. She was a very big inspiration. I'm trying to do that with fire. And I could tell you that when I'm if I could put myself into a theta state, it's not easy for me to do that, but when I can get there, I can play with fire. It's fun. Water, I'm not the best with, but fire I can when I'm in those states. Don't bonfire with me. I can make those things jump if I'm in those states. But a lot of us have that ability. You just need to hone in on it. My spiritual cachet, I love this. Notice how movement feels. This is synchronicity because I was not even reading this. It wasn't even on my screen. I had to scroll to find this. When it no longer fueled by fear, you do not have to strain yourself into motion to prove you are moving. When it is time to step forward, it will feel as natural as taking the next breath. You are learning the subtle difference between reacting to life and letting life move through you. One exhausts you through the need to control. The other reminds you that life has always known how to move when you are no longer standing against it. Sometimes what finally opens the way forward isn't another answer. It's the quiet completion of an old resistance, a story you've carried long enough, a judgment that no longer needs defending, an identity built to survive circumstances that have already passed. Life was never withholding what was meant for you. It was waiting for yesterday to stop speaking for today. That is a powerful line. Wow. Life was never withholding what was meant for you. It was waiting for yesterday to stop speaking for today. Wow. Notice what no longer asks to be carried. Not because you are trying to leave it behind, because it has already completed its work. And in that quiet recognition, what was always moving toward you can reach you. That's amazing, El Sadre. That right there. It was waiting for yesterday to stop speaking for today. Why you got to let go of that old self. That Allison that lived 20 years ago, 13 years ago, 5 years ago, is not the one present before you today. The actions, the decisions, the stupid things, the not so nice things that I did isn't the person sitting before you today. For thou shalt not judge. Let me be my own judge. We got to accept that that story no longer exists. It's dead, done, and over with. It's not who I am today. And if you keep going back to that story and making assumptions and questioning, you're not going to get that far, because I'm not allowing it anymore. That's my boundary. People who dictate to me what once was and their assumptions and their accumulative thoughts, not my story, not my past, no longer, because my past is this moment. Sure, we're not perfect, But I don't gotta sit here and be sucked back into a story that I don't identify with anymore. And it's not to say not taking accountability, but that's where the test lies. Once you released it, do you need to hold yourself accountable for the rest of your life for a mistake? For something you're not proud of doing? Should that be a stain on your life for an insignificant moment of something that affected someone else? Maybe, maybe not. I say no. You'll hold yourself accountable when it's your time to do a life review, and you need to look at all the dynamics that you're not seeing in your current. But that's not to say that you're not holding yourself accountable. How you are holding yourself accountable is not repeating that past, by learning your lesson, by moving forward with integrity. You don't have to justify it to anybody but yourself. When people cross that line with me, done. I'm not reliving a past that I didn't even orchestrate in someone else's head in their story. All right. Hang on. We're not done. I got to figure out what to put on here. But before I do that, this is from yesterday. I did I put it out? Yeah, 23 hours ago, yesterday. My energy was a lot clearer yesterday, so I intuitively I like when I do the lives with the oracle cards on Wednesdays. I figured let me include all of you because these readings are not for me, they're for others. And so I chose intuitively some of the decks that I already been using, and some of them that I has been sitting on my cart. I literally do. I have an oracle cart. Most of the cart moved underneath the desk, but I wanted to show you guys. This is Healing Waters. I'm sorry these photos are not the best. This is the Mary Magdalene Oracle, the Pure Magic Oracle, the Rose Oracle, which I've been using, the Dragon Path. I introduced that a little bit. And Sacred Forest. I love the Sacred Forests. So far, 1, 5, and 6 are ruling the voting right now. 2 and 3 are the runners up, so I need one more. But I will leave that to interpretation. I will wait for more people to write in the comments. But thank you all who were voting, and I'll decide before I go live tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm going live tomorrow because my friend's package with the rest of his stuff and my car, if it's not raining, might be having a chance to look at it for like 5 minutes or so. I don't know. But I'll let you guys know when I know more in the morning. what time I'm going live tomorrow for the Oracle card reading, because I need to figure out if it's a stupid part, if it's something like stupid, or it's something major. And my friend knows a little bit about cars and can look at it for me. Because I obviously need to either get a new battery and play with it, or try to charge it and jump it, charge it, and go from there. But there looks like there is rain in my forecast. Or there was supposed to rain today. I don't know. I don't know. We're sticky still. All right. This is hard. Yeah, that's still sticky. Okay. I got some thoughts on this. Some. Oh, Elsa. So Sid, Divine Sunflower Tarot, was like, Allie, I can't make your live tonight. I'm like, girl, you live your life. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Um, like, it's okay. um, I just like, I trust me. I know when like when people have stuff going on in their lives, I don't want anybody to ever feel bad that you can't catch a episode, or you're people telling me I'm making my dinner. Don't think I'm not watching. I'm blessed for all of you in my lives. You're like my soul tribe. You're my family. And life happens. You're allowed to go out. You're allowed to have a life. I know a lot of people aren't feeling good. Rest, sleep, till your soil. Do what you got to do. Life goes on, right? Life goes on. It's okay. Um, during the day, I also get that kind of guilt, like I'm listening, but I'm not in chats because I'm actually physically moving furniture or drilling into the wall, curtain rods. Like, I can't do everything at once. And I know for myself, when I'm walking, I have to pay attention because I'm playing Frogger. I put my music on and I'm fast paced walking to the store. Or I'm mowing my lawn and I'm doing me. I have to do my life, right? Life's, and it's okay. But I try to make my presence known somewhere, somehow. And if I can, I go into the back, like, and I'm gonna say this because Arnie did bring it up earlier on his Facebook feed. A lot of us are getting shadow banned. It's not necessarily a theory, it really is a truth. I know that when I'm looking at my back office and I'm seeing how many people are viewing me, that count went significantly 30,000 down. Even on Facebook, I'm not seeing everybody's posts. Some people I see, some people I don't. And I know that people are posting because then I go click on their page and I'm like, wow, I didn't see this. So some of us are being hidden. And I don't always equate that to being a negative thing. Some things that a lot of us are saying are beyond where people can grasp and are not ready to hear yet. Other times it's the, side that aggrandizes themselves that don't want the truth out. Whatever capacity that truth comes. Even for normal people, the tarot card people, they talk about it too. They're like, oh, I don't know why, like, I got it such a hit in my channel and now I'm playing with algorithms and stuff and how I word my stuff. Me, I don't give a fuck. I'm titling it how I am. I'm not using AI for any of that. The only thing I use AI for is to clean up my photos because I like my little neon signs. And sometimes it makes me look like Allison, the other times it doesn't. It's like a magic trick. I like it. But that's really the only place I use AI for in my YouTube videos, besides making shirts and books and stuff, but it's my content. It's me. Uh yeah, some people that only clickbait. I'm not a clickbaiter. If you find my work authentic, you're going to find me. Spirit will put you in front of me. And the same could be said with everybody that has a channel and has a page on social media. If you're putting stuff out and it's meant to be seen by certain people, you're going to find it. Plain and simple. Spirit putting people who are in a schizophrenic mode having videos on that appeared on my page, on my YouTube channel, like my YouTube page. Where did that come from? I don't ever listen to that stuff. I'm not even seeking it out. It just appeared. So just have that in the back of your heads that I do feel that some of us are being a little hidden right now, whether that's protection, whether that's not trying to get the truth out, whatever it is. Everything has a purpose. It could be nefarious. Oh, that tea is so good. Delicioso. We're still wet, but I'm gonna start. I don't think I'm gonna paint all of. I don't think I'm gonna start that until this is fully dry. Okay, I'm thinking a tree, a branch, Freya sitting on the branch, maybe a little Thor in the background. In the Norse mythology, Yggdrasil, the world tree, that's kind of the theme I'm trying to get with. There is a squirrel who goes up and down. So I might put some squirrels in and maybe some chipmunks. Mm-hmm. have the whole outdoor family on a pallet. Oh yeah, that's still very wet. That's still very wet. Yikes. Yeah, so what I'm thinking, that's not wet. Tree, branch, Freya, little Thor in the background, maybe walking, and then squirrels and chipmunks, mostly sky, maybe more laying down over here. That's Allison's thinking. I as much as I love my lighthouses and my beach scenes, I do those well. I need my fur family all together now. And Zippy, that little shit, destroyed my broom outside. I don't know what the fascination with my broom outside is. I need a new broom. He fucked it up. He tore the shit out of that. Crazy guys. Max Velocity's still alive. What? Hang on. I gotta put this on and see. Ah, funny. I took the volume off. Jeez Louises. Tornado is down. I don't even know Clark's Tennessee. Dixon, White Bluff, Ashland City area. Careful. Yeah, my fear was earlier with New York. But that doesn't mean overnight they're not going to get what's coming this way, but it should lessen for sure. Yeah, so guys, just be careful with the weather. I'm not going to lie. Happy Leo season to everybody, all you beautiful Leos out there. It's Leo official Leo season. Happy Leo season. Oh, this is something we need to hear. Hang on. The storm period of Mercury occurs in the days before and after it stops to start or end its retrograde motion. This makes its influence at max power while amplifying misshapes involving what Mercury represents. This is movement, all forms of transportation, communication, all forms of communication. the thought process, slower mind, writing, and language. As the energy does one more giant pull inward, you may experience heavy emotional or mental purging. As Mercury is getting ready to end its retrograde on the 23rd, Saturn is stopping at max power to begin its 5-month-long retrograde. Another planet. Saturn is going retrograde, and it begins its 5-month-long retrograde starting July 26th. So the next 10 days may feel strange, sluggish. Some seem karmic with roadblocks or retribution occurring. But not much new will be unfolding just yet. Give yourself time to adjust this energy and take your time with things. Do not rush or force anything. The sun will enter the fire sign of Leo on the 22nd as well. Prepare for the next set of eclipses in August. Eclipse season is coming back. They do. I have a love-hate relationship with squirrels. When they're not trying to eat my electrical wires in my old house, I had a nest of squirrels who were destructive. Not just wanting the warmth of my little trussel, they wanted into the house and they ripped through my ceiling. They were chewing on wires and pooped and peed all inside my walls. And they had to go. Zippy is very aware of me. Zippy looks in my window and looks at me and does a little shake with his tail. It's super cute. Tried getting it on film a few times, but as soon as Zippy does that, Freya is pouncing and he's like, it's too fast. But I know that even Speedy is starting to a little bit. Like, they know I put the food out at a specific, it depends, around 9-10 o'clock in the morning when I get up and I'm able to walk. It takes me a while sometimes to get out of bed. My back gets jacked up. I set the food out for them and they get all squirrely. And then they start coming up and down the deck. It's cute as hell. But destructive. But if you stay out of my roof, you don't chew my wires, you're okay with me. And Zippy can eat my my broom. It's just one of those little brooms. I keep it outside on the deck because of the raccoon droppings and other things that catch from the wind onto my deck. I just sweep it off. But yeah. Give me a second, guys. I gotta go number one again because my bladder is not wanting to hold anything tonight. Give me a second. This should be not as long as me going outside and dropping things off. I'm back. I love my chipmunks. I never had encounters with chipmunks until this year. I've seen them here and there. I had that one bunny rabbit in my backyard for a little bit, Bun Bun. Oddly enough, in New York, we had skunks and wild turkeys. We had Turkey Tom. Wild Turkey Tom. Wild Turkey Tom used to walk up and down my block in New York. And Wild Turkey Tom used to take a little bit of flight and sit in the pine trees in my neighbor's backyard. Although Turkey Tom was not aggressive. Some wild turkeys are bananas. Bad. So we had skunks. And I didn't want to get anywhere close to a skunk unless they're stinctified. Their stink gets taken out. Chicken! Buck buck! It's chicken. Chicken buck buck buck. Chicken buck buck buck. Chicken buck buck. Chicken. Honestly, Batty! Okay, Batty did it this time. Where my dad went to the last trip to his hospital before he passed over, was known for wild turkey. Seriously, there was people that made mock signs. You know how there's duck crossings and wildlife crossing signs on the roads? Well, in this specific area by the hospital, someone made a turkey crossing because the wild turkeys used to be right near the beach where the hospital was. That's all where they're congregating. And they were not nice. Not nice. Some of them are nice. Tom the wild turkey was adorable and super sweet. Good personality for a turkey. Animals have their own little personalities. Freya is a sassy little girl. Little Thor is one of those like, I'm gonna brutalize everything. Zippy and Pippi are adorable. Chippy and Speedy are adorable. They're really cute. I'm very blessed to be able to have all these animals that come and visit me. I have not seen Little Thor in a while. I really do hope that someone did take him in and that he has a loving home. I can't see it happening though, because he doesn't like indoors unless someone chopped his nuts off and knows how to handle a feral cat. He did not want in. He wanted in the winter, but very seldom he would fuck my house up to go outside. So I still leave the food out for him. The raccoons have at it. I gotta be careful with them. Fun. I get poop everywhere. And now that I got screens on my windows, I gotta be super careful that I'm not clawing and ruining them. Crazy times. Crazy measures. Wow, there's a lot of tornadoes. Geez. Where was that? Yeah, Max is showing some tornado action going on. Someone videoed. Batshit crazy. Let me see if there's anything else that we need. That's still got to dry. Yeah, so I'm really thinking. Yeah, that's sticky. This got to dry. To draw on it. To map out what I want. But I'm thinking tree. Maybe some roots. A branch with Freya. A nice dawn sky. And some little chipmunk action and squirrel action. And a little Thor in the background. That's what I'm thinking. But before I paint anything, I like to map things out, and I can always erase and change it, but not when the paint is sticky. We don't like that. And it is humid out. We were supposed to get rain. It might have rained. I'm hoping that I put weed killer, not to kill the daisies and the dandelions. I have a lot of those. My concrete in my front has these little webby fucking things that I can't stand. And I had to throw some weed killer down. I don't like that stuff, but it's killing my concrete. I'm not a mason. Yikes. But as this energy, let's go check the Schumann once more. If you are feeling sleepy, off. We got some light coming in. We had some light coming in already while I'm live. The hertz is 7.94. It's kind of high. Not ideal. What is that? That mothership? What is that? If that's not a mothership, that is a star. Either imploding or I saw that spirit or whatever. Did we just see what happened? I didn't touch anything. My hand was on my phone. What is that? What is that? What is that? It's not a mothership. It's here too. If that's not a neutron star or a collapsing star, I don't know what is. Oh, wow. My little Ethan, Black Cat Ethan, that passed away, his front claws, I had to get declawed. He couldn't retract them and they got stuck. And two of his, on both paws, his like he clawed into something or was scratching something and it ripped open and we had to rush him into the emergency surgery vet because of that, and they had to take the claws off. And I know that's wrong, and I'm not for declawing cats, but for his instance, they could bleed out, and it was safer for him to not have his claws. And I kept the back on. The back weren't where he could retract the back, but not the front. And two on both paws, his claws got stuck into something, and it was catastrophe. Spirit is definitely causing some shenanigans here tonight. It's not bad. They're just being silly. I mean, the last couple of days, I've been feeling his royal adversary a lot. A lot. He's been coming to me in my dreams. Different forms, different vibrations, but I know it's him. And he comes as a him. He's androgynous in the higher realms, by the way. Most of them are. They're just energy. Oh boy. We might get hit with something, but I want to know what that star is. If that's a star, is it a mothership? I don't know if I can save that photo. I'm going to see. I think it's interesting when I see anomalous stuff like that. Oh, it's cooling down? What? Oh, I might walk to the store tomorrow. 72 degrees, guys. Low 53. I could shut off my air conditioning? What? I like this weather coming in. Oh, but it gets hot next week. What the? I don't mind the heat, but when I have to walk, I do. Oh, it's gonna be gorgeous tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, anywho. Anywho. Sorry, guys. So tomorrow I will be pulling. I'm going in the morning. I will be checking to see the tallies from everybody. I want to give everybody another day and and then I will let you guys know in a post when I will be doing the Oracle Live. They're hiding under there. But I will be pulling from the decks that you guys have chosen. Collectively, if they're all so far, the Healing Waters, Dragon Path, and Spirit Sacred Forests are in the lead. All three of them are going to be probably present tomorrow. And then 2 and 3 is in the balance. It's been super. We've had some hot days here, but not that bad. But it's every time it's like super hot, it's with the, the wildfire air, or it's gonna rain. And when I'm walking, like the last couple of times I took that walk to the store, when I get home, the other day I did mow. But like I get these bad migraines, and I've been drinking my face off and also been, with salt, getting my electrolytes in, and I can't fathom why I keep getting headaches like that, or is my body overworked? I don't know. But I'm keeping up the walking because I'm gonna have to walk until I get a car situated for the winter. And right now I cannot afford any of it. I could finance, maybe, but can I pay for something outright? Probably not. So, got to figure it out. Before I depart all of you, because life is batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. Batty crazy. It looks like fat, but it's muscle. I'm getting my muscles intact. Looks like fat, but it ain't. You know I'm in my masculine when I show off my muscles. I'm going to pull from the Dragon Path deck. Get you guys a little pumped for tomorrow. For anybody in the background, tomorrow I will be live. I pull Oracle cards. I have 4 decks. You guys get a card a deck, and then I pull some other extra little cards on the messages from Spirit. Usually Arnie's angel numbers. And some other, depends. I let Spirit take the reins. But holy shit. We got a badass mother effing dragon right here. Merlin the dragon. Merlin the dragon. Look how cool that dragon is. Before I read Mr. Merlin, El Sunray, Miss Leah. I got plethora of these dealerships around, the smaller guys. That's probably where I'm going to have to end up. But what I am noticing with all the ones that I'm looking at, they are taking used cars that are more than 5 years old, that have over 100,000 miles on them, and they're asking 20 grand for these things. And they're not Land Rovers, they're not high-end limited edition Jeeps or big trucks. These are really insignificant little cars that my jaw drops. Why am I paying that amount for a 5-year-old car with over 100,000 miles on it for 20,000 when I could go to the dealership and for $5,000 more get a brand new car with no mileage on it? And I'm talking about regular Mazda, Toyota, Chevrolet, GMC, Ford cars. We're not talking about the Lexuses, Mercedes. That I understand that when they charge that much and it's a Lexus. Totally understandable. But for a regular car that has no bells and whistles on it, with a fuck ton of mileage on it, and you're charging that much, Allison's eyes get a little skeptical. Merlin the dragon. Continue your journey discovering what you need to learn and understand and own. This is the energy we're all sitting in. Merlin the dragon, to give him his full name, is an incredibly large and sage old dragon whose message is one of teaching and learning. If he has found his way into your reading today, his message is this: not all things are as they seem. That's true. Some are images being reflected back to you in order for you to understand discernment and learn the lessons of self-trust. Only once you have done this will you discover how to stand in your own power and own who you truly are. The Grand Master Dragons are able to shapeshift between their dragon and human or angelic form. In whichever guise he adopts, Merlin is a teacher of the teachers. So heed his wide counsel. You are unable to teach others until you fully understand the lessons yourself. Once you have mastered these, you are in a position of clarity and ownership and can share your wisdom with integrity and power. Until then, hold your tongue and continue your journey, discovering what you need to learn, understand, and own. Only then will you be in place of authority to share your knowledge with others. If you notice the owls keep crossing your path, know that Merlin is around and willing to share his infinite wisdom with you and show you what you need to learn. He will stretch you and often answer questions with another question, encouraging you to seek the answer from within. He is not an easy grandmaster to work with, but he will guide you well. Merlin the Dragon. And it's true. If you have not walked through the experience, you have no knowledge to gain from it. You don't have wisdom to impart in others because you didn't walk through the experience. That's why half of gangster rap is bunk, because most of those guys never actually lived a tough life. You could tell the ones who have. They've experienced it. Oh, yeah, for sure. I just need to find not a seedy place and one that's willing to work with my credit score, which is not bad at all. It's over 700. Probably way better now since I paid a shit ton of my debt down. But even the loan that I got for the windows was low. I'm like, oh, well, they had to give me 2 loans. For what? But I'm still looking for the SUV that I want, so I have to I want this specific car, so I just like it. I see myself in it, and once I find where it is, it's gonna attract itself to me, and it's gonna be in the right circumstances. I'm trying to manifest that. I just can't put myself in a situation where I was over the winter. Crossing fingers here. I find something soon. Because as much as I don't mind walking, there are times I have to bring things to work, and I do have meetings in other buildings. Unless that changes this year, and I hope it does, I'm going to be spending more money than I make getting an Uber. You know, just life is crazy, for sure. And unless you walk through these experiences, you're not authentic. If you talking up your ass. A lot of people do that. I know I don't. I only talk from experience and going through shit. And a lot of us go through a lot of fucking damaging shit because we are here to transmute it, learn from it, and impart that wisdom on other people so they know the wiser. Crazy times. But I'm gonna leave it here, guys. I want to hopefully finish episode 3. I'm so close. So close. I'm trying to find I might have to render my own picture, but we're almost done with episode 3, so I can get that out to our lovely 4D members. It's humid in my house. That's probably why that's not drying fast enough. Normally I just paint, but we'll leave that for next week. But until tomorrow, guys, I'll be live. Just make sure you ring the bell icon so you know when I am live. I will be doing an oracle card reading. You can go to my post section community page, and the voting will end tomorrow morning at some point. but you could tell me which decks. I put a bunch there. I'm only limited 6 photos. So go check out the photos, see which one is calling your name. And tomorrow, when I am live, if you want a reading, you tell me what deck, and I pull from the deck, and you get a 1 card with some others. And then at the very end, I give a collective. And what's beautiful about pulling different decks and pulling for different energies, there might be a message for you in there. Just because you're not asking a question doesn't mean that there's no value in what I'm reading for another person. It might not apply to you too. We're all one. We're all one. So I want to thank each and every one of you for the contribution in the chat for tonight. Amazing chat. I only got this done, but that's okay. And then I did have to leave to go drop off Amazon Fund to a friend. So sorry about that. But I'm not going to reshape everything and scrap my life for doing favors for people. Can't do that. Sending each and every one of you life, love, light, blessings, protective energy, healing energy. I know some of you need that tonight. Please go within. Be the shoulders. Be the lighthouse. Sprinkle and seed your truths. Light that path forward. Thank you to each and every one of you that showed up tonight, that liked, shared, subscribed to my channel if you have yet to do so. Make sure the bell icon, and also go check out the bottom of my YouTube channel. I have amazing people that have amazing YouTube channels that I love. Maybe you'll love too. Go check them out. Go search them out. I only put people on my bottom if they have value, and everybody holds value in my life. So go check it out. And go check out my link section. It will be uploaded in a little bit, and you get to see all the beautiful things. But until the next time, guys, thank you for watching. Have a blessed and beautiful night wherever you are. And if you're in the path of storms, please be safe. Listen to your NOAA weather radio. And have a blessed and beautiful night, guys. Bye for now.